everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Easy Sculpture. If you are new on this YouTube channel, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and hit the bell beside to get timely notification anytime new tutorials is uploaded. During our last tutorial, we cut a belt trouser, and I promise that the next tutorial will be cutting shirt, how you can cut a shirt, a corporate shirt, also called a packing shirt. So today we'll be cutting a packing shirt, and I also promise to make my explanation very simple, such a way that you can understand as a beginner. Now, when you are cutting a packing shirt, there are some measurements you need to apply when you are cutting a packing shirt. You need the length of the shirt, which is the full length of the shirt. You can measure from the front, you can measure from the back, but preferably you measure, when you are measuring a man, measure from the back. From the collarbone, you measure down to the preferred length that the person wants. That's how you determine the length. And secondly, when you measure the shoulder, also known as back. Some measure full shoulder and some measure half. But even when you measure the full shoulder, you need half of the shoulder to cut your shirt. So for you to measure the half of the shoulder, measure from that same collarbone to the shoulder bone where the sleeve starts, and that is how you discover or you determine your back measurement. Also, you measure the sleeve from where you stop the back measurement down, either short sleeve or long sleeve, and then you measure the chest, you measure the tummy, and if it's a man that has hip, you can measure the hip, or you just curve it out a little to accommodate the hip. So today for this shirt, we'll be using the following measurement. The length as 30, the back or shoulder as 9, which is the half, and if you want to use the full, is 18. The sleeve as 9, short sleeve. The chest as 40, and then the tummy as 38. But the tummy, you can trim the tummy to your preferred tummy measurement after you have joined the shoulder. So today we will be cutting. Maybe subsequently we can do the practical, how we can sew it. So for you to cut your shirt, ready-made style, the buttonhole part is being joined to the shirt along the line when you are sewing it. So you only put joining allowance for the buttonhole side. But for the button side, you fold it 1.5. You fold it inside 1.5 inches. You fold it 1.5 inches inside. The same 1.5 you measure all through. So you fold it 1.5 inches all through. And then for the buttonhole part, you just give a joining allowance of 0.5 inches, which is also the same allowance, 0.5 inches, to help you join the pieces that you use to turn it out to form the buttonholes. 0.5 inches before you apply your measurement. So as you can see, we have our 0.5 inches as the seam allowance for the buttonholes part. Now we are going to be applying our measurement. Firstly, apply your length, which is 30. So 30 plus 1.5 for the joint, for the seam allowance at the shoulder, and the tiny folding when you want to curve the down, which makes it 31.5. You measure 31.5 up through. Then you may rule it. Then you measure the shoulder at the back. Don't forget the shoulder for this is 9. So plus seam allowance 9.5. Don't forget we have 0.5 inches here seam allowance, which makes it 10. So you mark 10. You go down a little, you mark 10. So A shortcut way for you to determine your armhole is for you to minus 1 inches from the shoulder. So we have 9 as the shoulder plus the 1 inch, which is the half inch at the front for seam and the back, which makes it 10. So minus 1, we have 9. So at this armpit, under the armhole, you consider your bust. The bust here is 40. So 40 divided by 4 will give us 10. So plus seam allowance on this side, 1 inches on this side, which makes it 11. And then don't forget we have half inches here as seam allowance, which makes it. At the armhole, you can add 2 inches as the allowance to curve the armhole. So you join the lines. So plus the 2 inches under this armhole, we have 12 inches. So you mark 12 inches up through. So join the lines. So for the neck, for this shirt, the neck we are using, we're using 16 for the neck size. So for you to get 16 for the neck size, you mark 2.5 for the wideness, and the depth, you can use 4. So then you curve it round. So when you measure it this way, you have 6. 6 plus 6 gives you 12. So 2.5 for the wideness of the neck at the back, which is times 2, will give you 5. So 5 plus 6 plus 12 will give you 17. The 1 inches will serve as the allowance for you to lock the button at the neck. So at this point, we are going to be cutting it out. So we start with the neck. Carefully curve to avoid having angles. So at this shoulder, you can as well help yourself. You can use 1 inch here. It's because I'm used to cutting the shirt, I do not measure it. So you can use 1 inch here, as you can see. It's 1 inch. To avoid it lap on the shoulder. So at this point too, you carefully curve. And then you cut it out. So you bring the remaining material. So for you to cut the back, so you fold it, considering the size of the front. So you can help yourself by placing the front, then you adjust it until you're having okay. So now having our front placed on the material for the back, so consider adjusting it. Let it be half inches away from the proper measurement. If the total measurement for the front is 12, you make it 11.5. So here we're having 12, so we'll make this one 11.5. Okay, let's put this aside while we get this properly. In case you have issues with materials like this, just notch a little to straighten the edges. So then you pick your front and place on it, as you can see. So for you to have a cape at the shoulder, so here you measure 1.5 at this edge. It's for the allowance for the keep that you join later when you are sewing it to give it a ready-made look at the back. So at this point, you cut it out. So you cover as well. So the difference is that the back is having a separate cape that you join where you curve or form the neck for the back part. So as it is, you measure what measurement you have here. This is 9.5, and then we proceed to the cutting of the cape. Okay, this can be enough for us to cut the sleeves. Okay, let's do the sleeve first. So the sleeves is 9. So plus seam allowance at the shoulder, half inches, which is 9.5. Then for seam allowance for the round sleeve, we use 3.5, which makes it 1, 2, 3.5. That's 13. So we fold 13. And then you divide. So now we have our. Now to determine the wideness of the material used in cutting the sleeve, you can add 1.5 inches to the measurement of your shoulder. That's the shoulder measurement, either 1.5 inches or 1 inch. So the shoulder measurement is in the original measurement is 9. Here we have 10. So it's okay then. 9 plus half inch, which is the seam allowance, gives us 9.5. 9.5. So for the round sleeve, we can measure the person, the owner of the material, to determine how wide the person wants it. But for this person, we use 7. So 7 plus 1 inches for seam allowance makes it 8. So here we have 8. This is the wideness. This is the wideness of the sleeve. This is the folding allowance. So also you can help yourself here by measuring a minimum of 4 to cover out the sleeves. This way. So then you cut. And then you notch. So this way we have our sleeves. This is the 3.5. You fold it this way, and this gives you 9. So we have our sleeves. The next thing now is to cut the cape. So we get the measurement for the wideness. So here we have 9.5. So 9.5 times 2 gives us 19. So I prefer adding 1 inches in case. So this way we have 10. So for the cape, we measure 5.5 for the height. The height of the cape, it includes the same allowance for the back and the shoulder. So you cut it out. Okay. Now for the neck, don't forget it's 2.5. You have a 2.5. Then you make the depth 1.5. So you curve, and at this edge, don't forget the 1 inch to curve the shoulder. So you cut the neck out, and then you slant the 1 inch, and you notch the middle to help you have a straight sewing. So the next thing is for the material that we use for the buttonholes part. So for you to do that, the wideness of that material is for you to have a straight and a neat sewing. The wideness is 2.5. So after your sewing, you should be having 1.25, which is a 1/4. So you measure the length for the buttonhole side. Measure the length. We have 28. So you can add 1 inch to 28 to give you 29. That's 14.5. And you have 2.5 as the wideness, 29 as the height, and then you cut it out. So we have it this way. So when you are joining it, you join it from the back to front. You join it this way before turning it forward. This way, then you fold. So it gives you 1/4. So this brings us to the end of this tutorial. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We promise to always give you your desired video every week as we discover areas that we need to address. We'll be addressing it. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell by the subscribe button to get timely notification. Thank you and see you next time.